What if the next manufacturing revolution is not happening inside billion-dollar factories? What if it is happening inside ordinary garages across America and Europe? A place where people used to park cars, store old tools, fix bikes, build shelves, and keep boxes they never open. But now, that same garage can become something completely different. A mini factory. Because machines are getting smaller, robots are getting smarter, software is getting easier, and small entrepreneurs are starting to use industrial robots to build real products without owning a huge factory. They had the money. They had the buildings. They had the workers. They had the machines. They had the supply chains. And if you were a small entrepreneur, you had two choices. But now, the game is changing. A garage entrepreneur can use compact robots to cut, weld, paint, assemble, package, and inspect products from a small workshop. That does not mean it is easy. A robot alone does not build a business. You still need a product. You still need customers. You still need safety. You still need quality control. You still need pricing. You still need a system. And that is why this topic matters. The garage is no longer just a place for hobbies. It can become a production cell, a small manufacturing lab. So in this video, we are looking at 8 specialized industrial robots transforming small-scale manufacturing in Western garages. Robot number 1, Collaborative Robotic Arm. A collaborative robotic arm, also called a cobot, is one of the most important robots for small manufacturers. Unlike giant factory robots that usually work behind cages, collaborative robots are designed to work closer to humans. They can help with repetitive tasks, picking parts, placing parts, loading machines, sorting items, light assembly, packaging, screwing, polishing, and moving products from one station to another. This robot is powerful because most small workshops have one big problem: time. A garage entrepreneur may have the skill to design a product. They may know how to build it.
And just like that,
they may even have customers. But repetitive work eats the whole day. Pick this part, place that part, load this machine, take the product out, move it to the next station, pack it, repeat, again, and again, and again. That is where a collaborative robotic arm becomes useful. It does not replace the entrepreneur's creativity. It replaces the boring, repeated motion that slows everything down. For example, imagine a small garage business making custom metal brackets. The owner may use a CNC machine to cut the parts, but someone still has to load the blank material, remove finished pieces, stack them, and prepare the next batch. Or imagine a small workshop making custom wooden products. The robotic arm can pick small parts, place them under a machine, move finished pieces, or help with light sanding. The cobot can help create a repeatable workflow. This is the real value. It turns a garage from a manual workspace into a small production system. The entrepreneur still controls the business, but the robot handles the repetition. And repetition is what makes manufacturing difficult.
B4.
Because when you make one product by hand, it is fun. When you make 10, it is work. When you make 100, it becomes a production problem. That is why automation matters. A cobot allows small businesses to produce more consistently without hiring a full team immediately. But there is a catch. You cannot just buy a robot and expect magic. The robot needs a clear task, a stable workspace, a safe setup, a repeatable process, and a product that is worth automating. If your business has no demand, the robot will sit there doing nothing. So the real question is not, can this robot move? The real question is, what job will this robot do every day that saves time, reduces mistakes, or increases output? A robot is not a decoration. It is not just a cool gadget. It is a worker inside a system. And if the system is strong, the robot can become very valuable. Robot number 2, Desktop CNC Robotic System. The second robot is a desktop CNC robotic system. This is where garage manufacturing starts to feel serious. A CNC system can cut, drill, carve, engrave, shape, and machine materials with high precision. It can work with wood, plastic, aluminum, foam, acrylic, and sometimes concept materials, depending on the machine. For small-scale manufacturing, this is a huge deal. Because precision is what separates a homemade product from a professional product. If the edges are uneven, the product feels cheap. If the holes do not line up, assembly becomes difficult. If every piece has a slightly different size, the business cannot scale. But a CNC robotic system can repeat the same design again and again. That is the power. It takes a digital design and turns it into a physical part. A garage entrepreneur can design something on a computer, send it to the machine, and create a real product. This opens the door to many businesses. Custom furniture parts, wooden signs, acrylic displays, small machine parts, speaker boxes, wall art, product stands, custom tools, prototype, decorative panel, aluminum brackets, replacement parts, and low-volume manufacturing. This robot is especially powerful because Western markets pay well for custom products. People want personalized items. Small businesses need displays. Creators need prototypes. Homeowners want unique furniture. Car builders need custom brackets. Shops need signs. Designers need samples. And entrepreneurs need small batches before they commit to mass production. That is where a desktop CNC system fits perfectly. It gives small businesses factory-level precision without a huge factory. But again, the machine is not the business. The product is the business. A CNC machine can make many things, but that can become a problem. Beginners try to make everything. Sign, furniture, phone holders, keychains, parts, decor, random gifts. And because they make everything, they build no clear brand. The smarter move is to pick a niche. For example, custom wooden wall panels for interior designers, or acrylic display stands for beauty brands, or aluminum parts for hobby builders, or personalized home decor, or small batch product prototypes for startups. When you focus on one market, the machine becomes easier to use as a business tool. You understand the customer. You understand the product sizes. You understand the material. You understand pricing. And you can build a repeatable production process. That is how a garage becomes a mini factory. Not by owning a machine, but by matching the machine with a market. The collaborative robot helps with repetitive work. Together, they show the new manufacturing model. Small space, smart machines, digital designs, repeatable production. Robot number 3, robotic welding arm. Now we move into one of the most important parts of small manufacturing, metalwork. A robotic welding arm can be used to weld metal frames, brackets, furniture, gates, bike parts, automotive parts, racks, small trailers, repair parts, and custom fabrication products. This robot matters because welding is skilled, dangerous, and repetitive. A good weld takes training. It takes control. It takes safety. It takes consistency. That is why robotic welding is so powerful. It can create consistent welds on repeated parts. It can reduce human fatigue. It can improve production speed. And it can help small workshops handle more work. Imagine a garage entrepreneur making metal table frame. At first, they weld each frame by hand. 1 frame, 2 frames, 10 frames. But then a furniture store wants 50. Now the business has a production problem. A robotic welding arm can help solve that. It can weld repeated joints with consistency. The owner still needs to design the product, prepare the material, set up fixtures, check quality, and manage the business. But the robot can handle the repeated welding process. The same applies to custom gates, metal shelves, fitness equipment, motorcycle parts, car accessories, garden furniture, and industrial brackets. But robotic welding is not something to treat casually. Welding involves heat, sparks, fumes, and safety risks. A garage setup must have proper ventilation, fire safety, protective equipment, and correct training. This is not a toy. This is real manufacturing. But for the right business, it can be a game changer. Because welding is one of those skills that can create high-value products. Metal products are strong, durable, useful, and often expensive. If a small garage business can produce them consistently, it can compete with larger shops in a focused niche. Robot number 4, robotic painting and coating arm. The 4th robot is a robotic painting or coating arm. It can be used for small furniture pieces, metal frames, panels, helmets, bike parts, custom automotive parts, cabinets, signs, art pieces, and product components. Painting sounds simple until you try to do it professionally. A bad finish can ruin a good product. The shape may be perfect. The welds may be strong. The design may be beautiful. But if the paint is uneven, dripping, dusty, or patchy, the whole product feels cheap. That is why finishing is so important. Customers judge what they can see. A robotic painting arm can help create smoother, more consistent finishes. It can move in controlled patterns. It can reduce overspray. It can apply coating more evenly. And it can repeat the same process over multiple products. Or a garage company making decorative panels, cabinets, shelves, or custom parts. The finish can increase perceived value. This robot also helps with safety and waste. Spraying coatings can involve chemicals, fumes, and messy overspray. A better system can reduce waste and improve consistency. But again, setup matters. You need proper ventilation, a safe spray area, protective gear, correct materials, and a clean environment. Dust can ruin paint. Bad preparation can ruin coating. Wrong settings can waste material. So the robot helps, but the process still matters. The real business lesson is this. Manufacturing is not only about making the product. Robot number 5, pick-and-place robot. The 5th robot is the pick-and-place robot. This robot does exactly what the name says. It picks something up and places it somewhere else. That sounds basic. But in manufacturing, this is one of the most common tasks. Move parts from one tray to another. Sort products. Place items into packaging. Load components into a machine. Move finished parts to a bin. Arrange products for assembly. Separate good parts from bad parts. Repeat. 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 This kind of work may not look impressive, but it consumes a lot of time. And in a small garage business, time is everything. A pick-and-place robot can help with speed and consistency. It can handle small parts, light products, electronics components, packaged items, hardware pieces, and simple assembly tasks. For example, a small business making custom electronics can use a pick-and-place system to move parts during assembly. A garage manufacturer making small plastic products can use it to sort pieces after production. A candle, soap, or cosmetics brand can use a pick-and-place robot for packaging. A small parts maker can use it to load trays and prepare orders. This robot is not always glamorous, but it is useful, because boring movement is one of the hidden costs of small manufacturing. The pick-and-place robot attacks that bottleneck. It does not invent the product. It does not create the brand. They stop asking, what machine looks cool? And they start asking, where am I losing time? That is the right question, because automation should go where the pain is. If the slowest part of your business is packing products into boxes, automate packaging. If the slowest part is sorting small pieces, automate sorting. That is how a robot becomes useful. Robot number 6, robotic 3D printing system. Now let's talk about robotic 3D printing. A robotic 3D printing system can be used to create prototypes, molds, custom furniture pieces, product parts, art pieces, design samples, tooling, and low-volume manufacturing items. That can be expensive, but 3D printing allows small businesses to test ideas faster. You can design a part, print it, test it, change it, print again, improve it. And once the design works, you can decide whether to keep printing, use CNC, make molds, or outsource larger production. It reduces the cost of testing. And in business, testing matters. Most product ideas do not become successful immediately. They need changes. The shape may need improvement. The size may be wrong. The material may not work. The customer may want something different. A robotic 3D printing system helps you learn faster. It is also useful for custom products, because not every customer needs mass production. Some customers need one special part, a custom fixture, a replacement component, a prototype, a display piece, a mold, a design object, a small batch. This fits perfectly with garage manufacturing. Small quantity, high customization, fast changes, local service. That is where small entrepreneurs can compete. A giant factory is good at making thousands of the same thing. But a garage with the right robot can be good at making custom things quickly. That is the opportunity. But again, 3D printing has limits. It is not always fast. It is not always cheap. Material choice matters. Strength matters. Surface finish matters. And not every printed product is ready for customers. Sometimes 3D printing is best for prototypes. Robot number 7, robotic packaging machine. Making the product is only half the business. The other half is making it ready for the customer. And that is where robotic packaging machines come in. A robotic packaging machine can help with boxing, labeling, sealing, wrapping, counting, sorting, and preparing products for shipping. They focus on the product. They focus on the machine that makes the product. But when orders start coming in, packaging becomes a problem. Boxes must be folded. Products must be placed inside. Labels must be applied. Packages must be sealed. Orders must be sorted. And everything must look professional. At first, this is easy. 5 orders, 10 orders, maybe 20 orders. But if the business grows, packaging can take over the entire day. That is why packaging automation matters. It helps turn a garage manufacturing project into a real brand. Because customers do not only judge the product, they judge the whole experience. The box, the label, the protection, the unboxing, the delivery, the condition of the product when it arrives. If a customer receives a messy package, the brand feels cheap. If the label is crooked, the brand feels careless. If the product is damaged, the customer loses trust. But clean packaging makes the business feel professional. For example, a garage business making custom hardware can use packaging automation to count parts and seal bag. A small cosmetics brand can use it to label and box products. A candle brand can use it to wrap and prepare shipments.
Trust is broken.
A custom parts manufacturer can use it to organize orders. This robot does not create the product, but it protects the sale. And that matters, because in e-commerce, shipping is part of the customer experience. A robotic packaging machine can reduce mistakes, save time, and create a more consistent brand presentation. But once packaging becomes a bottleneck, this robot can create serious value. Robot number 8, AI Vision Inspection Robot. The final robot may be the most underrated one. AI Vision Inspection Robot. This robot uses cameras, sensors, and software to check products for defects. It can inspect scratches, wrong sizes, missing parts, bad labels, color differences, surface defects, poor alignment, cracks, dents, and packaging mistakes. This matters because quality control is what separates serious manufacturers from hobby makers. But when you make 50, 100, or 1,000 products, mistakes become harder to catch. They care that the one they received was defective. That is why inspection matters. An AI vision inspection robot helps small manufacturers catch problems before products leave the workshop. This is especially useful for businesses making repeated parts, electronics, small metal components, packaged products, cosmetics, labels, machined parts, printed products, wood products, plastic parts, and assembled items. For example, if a garage business makes aluminum brackets, the vision system can check shape and holes. If a small company labels bottles, the system can check label placement. If a business makes painted parts, the system can check surface defects. If a packaging line seals boxes, the system can check whether the box is closed properly. This robot is not about speed only. It is about trust. Because quality mistakes are expensive. They create refunds, bad reviews, returns, wasted shipping, customer complaints, and lost confidence. A small manufacturer cannot afford that. So an inspection robot acts like a final guard before the product reaches the customer. But again, AI is not magic. It needs training, good lighting, clear inspection standards. The robot helps detect patterns, but the entrepreneur still defines what quality means. And that is the real point. A serious business must decide what is acceptable and what is not. Now let's talk about the business roadmap. Because buying robots is not enough. They see a robot arm moving and think, that is the business. But no. The robot is not the business. The business is the product, the customer, the pricing, and the system. So before buying any robot, ask yourself these questions. What product am I making? Who is going to buy it? How many units can I sell? Which part of the process is slow? Which task is repetitive? Which task causes mistakes? Which task is dangerous? Which task affects quality? And which robot actually solves the problem? This matters because not every business needs a robot on day one. Sometimes you should start manually. Test the product, find customer, get feedback, improve the design, then automate the task that slows you down the most, not the other way around. For a garage manufacturing business, the best niches are usually focused. Custom metal parts, small furniture, home decor, e-commerce products, automotive accessories, bike parts, fitness equipment, workshop tools, small electronics, luxury packaging, prototype services, custom signs, personalized products, replacement parts, low-volume manufacturing. The goal is not to compete with giant factories on cheap mass production. That is a hard game. The better opportunity is to compete on speed, customization, quality, local service, and small batch production. A big factory may not want to make 50 custom parts, but a garage manufacturer can. A big factory may not care about a local designer's small order, but a garage manufacturer can. A big factory may move slowly, but a small automated workshop can move fast. That is the advantage. Small does not have to mean weak. Small can mean flexible. Small can mean specialized. Small can mean close to the customer. But there are risks. Robots cost money. They need space. They need setup. They need maintenance. They need safety planning. They need programming. They need a clear workflow. And if you buy the wrong robot, you can waste a lot of cash. So the safest strategy is to automate step by step. First, prove demand. Then improve the process. Then automate the bottleneck. Then measure the result. Did it save time? Did it reduce mistakes? Did it increase output? Did it improve quality? Did it free you to focus on sales and design? If yes, the robot is working. If no, it is just expensive equipment. Now here is the final lesson. The garage used to be a place where people stored tools. Then it became a place where people built side projects. And one entrepreneur who understands that automation is not the shortcut. Automation is the amplifier. It amplifies a good product. It amplifies a strong process. It amplifies real demand. But it cannot fix a bad idea. So before buying the robot, build the business case. Then use the robot to scale what already works. And that is how industrial robots are transforming Western garages into real mini factories.